I wanted to send my short story and experience with a Thai bar girl because I see the question all the time, why would anyone fall in love with a bar girl? I would like to share my experience and try to answer that question and why I think that I fell in love with a bar girl. So, let's begin. I'm a 48-year-old from Belgium. Deep down, I am a very shy person and quite an introvert, and it wasn't like me at all to take a solo trip to Thailand. I did not go out much or party, and I only had a small circle of friends. My experience with the ladies is pretty much non-existent. The reason for that is 1, I am not confident at all, and 2, ladies in my country just do nothing for me. Going on a solo trip would force me out of my comfort zone, and I was hoping it would do a lot for my confidence, and what better place to do that than Thailand. On my second day in Bangkok, I met a local who offered to show me around. He was actually a foreigner, not a local, but he claimed to have lived in Thailand for many years, so he knew the places to go. After a few beers on Sukhumvit Road and Soi 4, we ended up at Soi Cowboy, and that's when the real adventure began for me. Don't get me wrong, Soi 4 has a few decent bars, but the women there seemed a little too old for me, and I don't think they were actually interested in me. It was around 9 p.m, and the guy I was with said Nana Plaza doesn't pick up until around 11 p.m, so we agreed to go there a bit later on. As soon as I got into a bar on Soi Cowboy, a bar girl came over to me. She was nice, good looking, 23 years old, clearly obvious she had some work done and was very flirty, and she spoke very good English. We sat down at a table and she was all smiles. She kept saying I looked good, telling me I'm handsome, and all of them lines, which was nice because I never got that kind of attention back in Belgium. Remember, this was my first time there. Later, I found out that if a bar girl speaks very good English, that can be a red flag. She was going on and on about me barfining her, telling me she doesn't normally do barfines, but she wanted to get out of here and show me some other bars. So, after having some fun and having a few lady drinks, I paid her bar fine and we left. The guy I was with was preoccupied anyway, sat with 2 other girls, so I just signalled to him that I was leaving. He gave me a smile, a thumbs up, and that's the last time I ever saw that guy. We went to a few other bars and finished in a smaller quiet one at the end of the night. I told her that I will see her again tomorrow, but this time I will come earlier so we both haven't had a drink. I thought I was being the gentleman because we had both had a bit to drink. I thought calling it a night and planning for a fresh beginning tomorrow was the decent thing to do. I thought she would appreciate me thinking like that. She got upset and kept pushing to continue the night. She said that other guys always tell her that they will come back to see her, but they never do. I was trying to be respectful because that is in my nature. I know it's work for her, but at the same time, I did not want to carry on the night. I just wouldn't have felt right. Looking back, I realised it wasn't just that. Part of me had this nice guy thing, like I wanted to rescue her, be the hero, but I should have left that guy back at home. Like many of us that go there, we get this mindset where we want to save the girl, but really, we couldn't even save ourselves. After I made it clear that I wasn't interested that night, things got a little intense at the bar. She started yelling at me and pointing her finger in my face. This was a quiet bar and had some customers looking like they were on dates, just relaxing or out with friends, so she caused a bit of a scene. Everyone started looking at us, and I just went into a show form while cringing at what was happening. She went from this cute, outgoing girl in the bar to an absolute monster, completely different person. I panicked, put 2,000 baht in front of her, she took it and I left. I was glad to be out of that situation, even if it means being out of pocket. This was my first ever bar fine, by the way, so it almost put me off Thailand altogether. I kind of realised then that behind all the smiles and the makeup of these girls, there can be someone crazy ready to come at you. The next evening, I was around Sukhumvit Road, and I told myself I wouldn't go back to that bar and just avoid seeing her again. But for some reason, after a couple of drinks, I found myself back on Soi Cowboy and at her bar where she apologised and, well, I barfined her again. I know, it sounds crazy after what happened the night before, but when she came up to me, she gave me a little hug and said she had too many drinks and felt terrible about it. It just felt easier to believe her than to think about it too much. I don't know what made me barfine her again after the first night, just something about her that drew me in. This time, I took her straight away, so there were no lady drinks and we were both as sober as a judge. We had a fantastic night together. In fact, it was such a good night together that I went back to see her at work a few more times because I really enjoyed my time with her. I ended up spending a few days and nights with her, and really, it was so good, and not just in that kind of sense. Like, in the days we would go out to eat and then at night go to her bar for a few drinks before returning home at night again. Anyway, I told her that I had plans to go to Pattaya for 10 days, as I had already booked my hotel and got things sorted. Her face just dropped. She got all quiet for a minute, then started asking why I had to go to that place out of all places. She said it was full of bad people and that I would get into trouble without her. She was really upset that I was leaving, especially for Pattaya, and she was hinting that she wanted to come with me. She was saying things like how much fun we'd have together and how she could show me all of the good places there. I could tell she didn't want me to go without her, but at the same time, I wasn't sure if it was because she cared or because she didn't want to lose out on the money. I wanted to go alone because I had heard a lot of things about that city that I wanted to see for myself. Plus, I did not really want to pay 10 nights worth of bar fines. I did say to her that I was only going because I had already paid for the hotel, but I'd much rather stay in Bangkok with her. Obviously, that was not true, but I was just trying to sweeten her up so I wouldn't be in the bad books with her or experience another one of her crazy episodes. Once I got to Pattaya, she kept flooding me with text messages, like some type of crazy girlfriend thing. Once I got to Pattaya, she kept flooding me with text messages, like some type of crazy girlfriend things, like, I love you and I miss you. We all know those types of messages now, but back then, I didn't. I did have fun in Pattaya, and it's such a crazy and lively place. There is literally bars and girls everywhere you look, and my hotel seemed to be smack bang in the middle of all of it. Although I was having fun and really enjoyed the attention I was getting there, my mind was still on this girl from Soi Cowboy. I suppose we can all remember our first girl and the effect that she had on us, right? I did meet one girl in Pattaya, but I did not really have the same connection with her than I did my Bangkok girl. I thought it would be a waste of money if I stay there with a girl I don't really want to be with. Even with all that was happening around me and being spoilt for choice, it just wasn't the same. The drinks, the bars, the girls, it all felt empty without that familiar face from Bangkok. No matter what I did, she was still in the back of my mind. After 5 days in Pattaya, I asked her if she would like me to cut my trip short and head back to Bangkok to spend the rest of my trip with her. She was more than happy for me to come back to her, and I was glad to show her that I really did like her and was willing to cut my trip short just for her. So, that is what I did. I went back to Bangkok, spoke to the lady that takes care of all the girls, and said I will barfine her for the rest of my time there. In the last few days of my trip, I spent more time with her and things were going well. When we would go to her bar, I personally think she was the most attractive girl in there. Customers would always try and talk to her, even if she was sat next to me, and if I'm honest, it became pretty annoying, but she did tell them that she was with me, which was a nice feeling, and stupidly, I started to catch feelings for her. Looking back, I wish I stayed in Pattaya for the rest of my trip. Maybe this story would have ended different. She told me she was falling in love with me, and I felt the same, even if I didn't want to. I could feel it happening. The way she looked at me, the little things she'd say, it all felt genuine at the time. I wanted to believe it so badly that I didn't even stop to think that there is no chance this will ever work out. People said she was just trying to hook me in and it's just work for her, but I believed her feelings were actually real. I remember defending her to anyone who tried to warn me, saying they didn't know her like I did. I was too focused on the good moments to see what was really going on. Deep down, I should have listened to people and knew this was just her job and it was all transactional. Problem is, I listened to my heart and not my head. In my heart, I believed that I could actually start a relationship with this girl if she stopped working at the bar. I ignored the warning signs from the crazy first night with her and was diving headfirst in the deep end. If she did stop working at the bar and got a normal job, then it would have been a lot easier on me. So I told her I'd give her 10,000 baht per month if she would stop working. She didn't seem too sure at first. I could tell she was thinking about the money she would lose compared to what she made at the bar. I tried to convince her it was only temporary and that I just wanted her out of that life. 10,000 is not a lot of money each month, even for Thais, so I know I was asking a lot from her. I said I would try and support her with more than 10,000 a month, and sometimes I'll be able to, and sometimes I won't, but the minimum would be 10,000 each month. She sort of agreed to leave the bar for 10,000, but you could just tell from a mile away that she wasn't happy about it and she was having second thoughts. I headed back to cold, gloomy Belgium, back to my boring life, with the silly assumption that she is now my girlfriend. She's quit the bar and she is looking for a normal job. When I got back home, of course, she did not stop working at the bar. I don't even know why I convinced myself that she would have. She made excuses right away. It was one thing after another, and really, I knew where it was heading. 10,000 wasn't enough. She needed 40,000 to cover her expenses. I explained to her that I am not some rich foreigner that can afford that kind of money each month. I did work everything out and I was able to offer her 20,000 a month up from 10, but that would be pushing it and not really something I was keen on doing. She kept saying she'd quit if I could just help her out a bit more, but it felt like the goalposts kept moving. Every time I thought we'd agreed on something, there was a new reason or an excuse. I told her that I needed to keep saving money so I could come back to Thailand to spend more time with her and be together. Of course, she did not listen. Money was more important to her than seeing me. She even said what money she has left over she will save and we will use it once I get there. I know I've been stupid, but I'm not stupid enough to believe that she would save money, especially for someone else. Then the mind games began. The little manipulation, the delayed replies, ignored calls, dodged questions. Every time I did not give in to her request for money or other favours, she would make me feel extremely bad, as if I did not care for her at all. It slowly turned into a cycle. I'd send a bit just to stop the arguments, and for a short while, things would seem fine. Then before long, the games would start back up, and I'd be right back where I started. Even though I would try to give her what she wanted, it was just never good enough. She always needed more. She would tell me that she is at work with a rich customer. Just mean, uncalled for stuff like that to make me feel bad. These girls really are good with their manipulation game and their mind games. They know how to make you feel like trash even when you're trying your best. I started losing it, feeling left in the dark, not knowing what to do. I was a silly old foreigner that was in love with a bar girl. It got to a point where I didn't even recognize myself anymore. I'd wake up thinking about her, go to bed thinking about her, and the rest of my day was spent checking my phone like a fool. It was exhausting, both mentally and emotionally. Like I said at the start of my story, I am a very shy person and never really had a relationship or much female company. So I guess I didn't really know how to act or deal with the way she was making me feel. Things got so messed up that I even started playing games back. I would either ignore her or tell her I will send what she requested later, but I would never send it. After a while, I was losing money for no reason, and I had to talk to someone about it or I was going to go crazy. With my friend's help, I started to see how much I was being played. I should have seen it a lot sooner, I know. I guess I just got caught up in the fantasy that this relationship could work. I sent her one final message, just saying thanks for the experience and that I was done trying to help. I knew I couldn't be the rich guy that she wanted, wished her luck, and then blocked her and deleted her. The thing with these girls generally is that they know every trick in the book and they know how to play the game very well. You can never win because, in the end, they don't really care, and they probably never did since day one of meeting you. They've done it so many times that it almost feels natural to them. They can read you like a book, knowing exactly when to smile, when to act hurt, and when to pull away just enough to keep you chasing. They are great at pretending like they have feelings for you. They know what to say to make you feel special and feel like she is different from the rest. And newbies like me, or guys that have not really had much luck in the dating world, they see us coming. We are easy targets and we eat up everything they say to us. Yes, I know the saying, "my girl is different," is laughed about within the bar scene, but at the time, I knew nothing about that. I have listened to plenty of stories and read even more online since my experience, but I never found a simple reason why we fall for these bar girls beyond their smile and their charm. I mean, there are plenty of nice girls in Thailand that work normal, respectable jobs, so why do some of us fall for a bar girl? Now, I want to go over some reasons I believe that some of us men fall prey to these girls. Confidence. For me, and I'm sure this is true for a lot of men, I lacked confidence in my own country with the females there. Not only was I not interested in them, they were not interested in me either. Before going to Thailand, I only had one girlfriend before, and I was 27 years old at the time. Most guys by that age would have been with a lot of women. When you arrive in Thailand and you begin exploring the bars and the nightlife, the girls there make you feel extremely confident. The way they call you handsome, the way they make you feel, and the attention that they show you is like no other. A guy like me that lacks the confidence, this is a dangerous playground to be in. It is easy to fall for their charm. I had never received this kind of attention, and now I was getting it in every bar that I walked in. You think it's just fun and part of the trip, but after a while, those smiles and kind words start messing with your head. You start believing maybe you are special. Maybe she really means it when she says that she likes you. That's when it starts getting risky. Unfortunately, when I first went to Thailand, I did not know all of the lines they use and thought the girls meant everything that they said to me. You begin to realize that these are trained girls. They say that to every guy, no matter what they look like. If you start believing everything they said, like I did, then you are going to be in for a roller coaster of emotions. Next, I think some men also like myself have the saviour mindset. We believe that the girl does not really want to do this type of job and is doing it because there is no other job or some other reason. Once we catch feelings for one of them, we think we can save them from this type of world that they do not want to be in. But the truth is, a lot of these girls make big money and wouldn't even dream of leaving the bar. They may claim that they don't want this type of work, but I think some of them enjoy it rather than working a normal, low-paying 9 to 5. Girls that work in the bars have more chance of certain things, get more money, meet new people, and even get a chance to get a visa from someone and move country for a better life. The list goes on, and they get to have all of this while they are getting money. When you think about it, you can't really blame these girls for doing this work. Next is loneliness. Loneliness can break people. Some people are fine with being alone, and some people crave someone to spend their time with. As I already mentioned, I did not have much luck with the ladies in my life, but I always pictured in my mind of meeting someone, getting married and having a family. Being lonely and going to Thailand, I might as well have worn a t-shirt with a target on it. A lot of people do not realise, and it's a misconception, that all men that fall in love with bar girls are old Westerners. The Western part is mostly true, but the age couldn't be more wrong. Guys of all ages and backgrounds can end up in my position, and you will notice that most of the people that laugh about guys being stupid and falling in love with a bar girl are the guys that have done exactly the same, but they are just trying to hide the fact that they made the same mistake. It's a one-way street really. We invest 100%, and our mind tells us, I must really love her or I wouldn't be doing all of this. Then when she starts pulling away, we invest even more because we don't want to lose all the money, effort and time we have already put in. I learnt a lot on this trip, and Thailand can either make or break you. You can go to Thailand and have the best time of your life, return home and go back to normal until the next trip. You can also go to Thailand, fall in love, and then everything changes, most of the time for the worst. Some people understand it while others don't, and some will learn the hard way like I did. Though sometimes I think it's best people learn the hard way. It's easy to say, I will never fall in love with a bar girl, until you do. It's true what many vloggers say, a relationship with a bar girl is tough, and I personally do not think it can work in the long run. Yes, there are some success stories out there, but most of the time they met back in the day when the world and Thailand was a lot different, as were the people. Nowadays, the girls are always addicted to the hunt, always looking for the next guy. I think even if the girl met the guy of her dreams, she would still do her work because she's addicted to the hunt and the money. It becomes part of their life. The bar, the attention, the quick cash. It's hard to walk away from that once you are used to it. Even when they say they'll stop, most can't let go for too long. Just look at how many stories there are where the guys pay a handsome amount of money each month for his girlfriend not to work at the bar, only to find out later down the line that she never did leave the bar. Many people come to Thailand looking for their dream girls in the bar, as I did, but they don't realise that the chances of finding someone who truly loves you and wants to be with you for more than just your money is pretty small. They make good holiday girlfriends, but once you leave Thailand, that's when everything will start piling up on you. I think one reason many people fall for Thai girls is that we all have our own problems and insecurities. Maybe like me, men lack confidence, they are shy, not good at talking to women, stuff like that. I realise I have my own problems too, and I thought travelling would help me get attention from girls. But in the end, that kind of attention isn't permanent. With my low self-esteem and fears, even if I wanted to be with a Thai girl, it would never work out. I'd end up living for her instead of myself. The girl that I met could have quite easily broke me financially and emotionally if it wasn't for my friend and all the stories people have shared. So first, I need to find myself and work out my issues before I even think about finding a Thai girlfriend. There are many cultural differences, and if you are not grounded, you can lose everything there. It's such an illusion, and many people end up getting trapped. You really need to get into your head that while you are in Thailand, this is a temporary getaway from the real world, and it's not going to last. I love the saying that I hear a lot, that when going to Thailand, you should leave your heart at the airport, because it's exactly 100% true. Having said all of that, Thailand does not only have the nightlife, it's a beautiful country and there are many ways to meet girls there. If you are looking for love, it's probably best to stay out of the bars, and in that case, you can take your heart with you. I believe that if you know who you are and are happy with yourself, then a long-term relationship with a Thai girl can work, but that's not easy. As a man, you often have to provide for almost everything, and if you don't find a good girl, you get very little in return. And this isn't just down to Thai women, it's any woman. A relationship with a Thai girl can work, but it's tough to find someone in the bar scene. So next year, I plan to go back and look for a good girl. I want to do it from the heart. So, that is my experience, my mistakes. You can laugh at me and take from it what you will. Thank you and good luck.